Hello internet, welcome back to my monthly series which I review books. This month, which is January, I read 2 books. The books were philosophical and they were very interesting to read, and yeah, so what better than philosophy? Yeah, what assignment. Yeah, anyways, first book was the first book is The Myth of Sisyphus by Albert Camus, which is this book. It's this book. It's about philosophy. Let me give you a brief summary of it. This is a philosophical book on the reasoning of suicide. Albert Camus presents a different interpretation of Greek legend, Myth of Sisyphus, where he presents Sisyphus as the symbol of mankind. And if you don't know the tale of Sisyphus, here's a little summary of it. The myth says that Sisyphus must roll a boulder up to the top of a mountain, where once he reaches the top of the mountain, the boulder rolls down, and he must repeat the process again for eternity. Albert Camus then presents the idea of absurdity. In other words, that life is meaningless and that humans try to find answers to unanswerable questions, such as questions as, why do we live? Therefore, Albert Camus presents a different solution to the idea. One solution being simply to deny absurdity and pretend that the world makes sense and make goals that give our life purpose. However, Albert Camus presents a greater solution, being living with absurdity and adopting the 3 mindsets: rejection of hope, revolution, and passion. So yeah, that was a little brief summary of it. Epic. Awesome. That makes me think, are we living in a simulation?
Honey, I'm home. Oops, I forgot I lived alone.
I don't want to love you anymore. My heart is tired out from running after yours. I won't answer the door when you show up late at night. So go and put the stars in someone else's sky.
My thoughts on the book. I think the book is very thought-provoking and it really makes you think. It has that wow, that just blew my mind factor. It really goes in deep into the idea of suicide, how humans think. If I had to rate the book, I'll give it a 10 for philosophy and a 4 for entertainment. I think this book deserves its praise and there's a reason why it's highly rated in philosophy. But if you're looking for an entertaining book, this book is not it. It's quite boring. Yeah, nonetheless, I highly suggest this book still for people who want to get into philosophy. Yeah, but not for people that want to be happy. The second book is Existentialism is a Humanism by Jean-Paul Sartre, which is this book with a bench. Yeah, the book is another philosophical book and one of the most famous philosophers, and he's one of the founding fathers of existentialism. So yeah, that's pretty epic. Anyways, I'm gonna give you a brief summary of the book. Written in 1945, French philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre argues that his philosophy is neither gloomy, silent, and subjectivist in the sense of portraying humans as isolated individuals. But first, let me explain his philosophy. Existentialism is the philosophical belief that humans are each responsible for creating purpose within their lives. In simple terms, we choose our own destiny. Yep, so back to the book. Jean-Paul Sartre gives a whole lecture on why existentialism is not really depressing and actually a quite optimistic philosophy, stating that people have the ability to become whatever they want to be, making the philosophy a happy one. Anyways, after the whole lecture, Sartre starts taking in questions from the audience, and he tries to give a better understanding of his ideology or his philosophy. And afterwards, Sartre shows his admiration for The Stranger by Albert Camus, which was like another book that Albert Camus made, just like the first one. And if I gotta be honest, that part was pretty boring, and it kind of made me go to sleep. My thoughts on the book for Existentialism is a Humanism. I think the book is really good in philosophical terms. He kind of proves his point. He really proves his point. And it's hard to understand whenever reading because he uses a bunch of complicated words. And it makes sense though because it was written in the 1950s. They have a whole different language from ours. Yeah, it was just really hard to understand from my opinion. And if I had to rate the book, I'll give it an 8 for philosophy and entertainment. It kind of really did suck. I'll give it a 0. Because I had to force myself to read this book, and it was really boring near the end. So yeah, that was the whole book. So yeah, anyways, those were the 2 books I read in January, and I want to say thank y'all for watching the video, and goodbye.
Quack.